My name's Chad Willett. I'm the founder of Warehouse 21 and currently the founder and managing director of West Edge Collective. I first started dealing with Jonah Bank of Wyoming in 2006 when I was introduced to Mark Zabak and Greg Jones. It was at the same time that I was starting my company, and I was lucky enough to be their first Cheyenne loan customer. They really gave me the leg up really from day one to be able to control my financial future. As a young kid firing up a business, think you know everything, and then quickly realize how little you actually know about business. And really everybody from day one has been there to support my journey. The Jonah family has really lived true to the code of the West. I remember back in 2006, 2007, as branches were opening up, we were actually putting the code of the West behind the teller lines with vinyl graphics. And at that time, first starting a company, I kind of, oh, this is cheesy, putting your values on your wall. And what I've really come to learn over the past, 15 years from the Jonah family's values do mean something, and that's really what I've driven into my company, is that your personal values and business values, if you live true to them, you will really succeed and you will really rise to the top. They've always been there. Whatever my financial needs are, vehicles, buildings, houses, crazy ideas for development. Hats off, congratulations on the 15-year anniversary. It's cool. It's fun to watch the transition from the old guard to the new guard, and watch and see that it's really still the same company, but very different. So hats off, Jonah.
So I'm Richard Schwann. I'm a veterinarian here in Casper, owner of Altitude Veterinary Hospital. And we've had a great relationship with Jonah Bank over the years. Back in 2009, or maybe around 2008 to 2009, we had Mark Zabak, Dusty Porter come over to the West Side practice, and just to kind of get an idea, kind of tell them what we're thinking about renovating the place. And when they kind of seen us just looking like a pinball in a pinball machine, because it was just so tight quartered, that they realized we needed to expand at that location, and so it was great that they helped us finance that, and we did a fantastic renovation from 2009 to 2010. And so we've always then had banking with Jonah Bank as well, and we've always enjoyed that relationship. Back in October of 2020, we wanted to open an East Side practice here at 299 Country Club Road, and boy, just their ability, their helpfulness to help us finance the renovation of that building was just paramount, just important for us, and we just feel like it's a great opportunity to be on the east side of town. And so Jonah Bank's really been part of that, really from the beginning. Just the whole group at Jonah Bank has just been super helpful, very pleasant, so it's always fun to go in and to the lobby, and they, it's just a personal welcome. And also, they always want to see my dogs when I come, and so I don't bring them enough for them, so I need to do that better. But no, they just make me feel quite welcome. And also, too, when we do online banking, I think that's really important. And with our online banking, it just makes things convenient, really efficient to kind of see where we're at as a business and what we're able to do for certain things. And so definitely Jonah Bank's been there for us.
The biggest reason that we have stayed with Jonah Bank basically from inception is it's all about relationships. We're a locally owned and proud Wyoming company, and we really wanted to have those relationships with people in Casper, and Jonah Bank developed that relationship with RMI 12, 13 years ago, and there's never been any reason why we needed to shop around or leave, to be honest with you. It's the people at Jonah Bank really set it apart for us, and they're always just willing to go above and beyond, whether it's something I need for RMI, line of credit extension, help, something I need personally, help with the mortgage, personal vehicles, anything like that, I mean, Jonah Bank has always been the go-to, and they have always been just literally bent over backwards for anything me or my family or my family, anything that anyone needed. They've been in super good hands whenever we've sent them or ourselves to Jonah. So to me, again, it's all about relationships and customer service, and no matter whether I'm going through the drive-through or walking in, I'm always greeted with 10 different smiles and hellos, and they know me by name, even though I maybe don't know them by name. So it's just a really cool hometown feel, and they're extremely competitive in the marketplace with rates and all that. So there's just really no other reason why we would need to go anywhere else.
Well, in 2004, I was the owner of the Wyoming Home Building. It occupied the space that the WRO had, Western Ranchman Outfitters, and that was a historical place in Cheyenne, kind of a landmark. And we were just kind of getting started there. We'd been there for a couple of years, and we experienced a fire, which destroyed half of the building, and we lost a lot of inventory. So with insurance and everything, I was able to renovate the building. And at that time, Joyce Kemp became my partner, and we worked really hard to rebuild, but it was difficult to get started again. A lot of people thought we were out of business, and we had to do a lot more advertising to assure the community that we were still there. So Greg Jones kind of helped me then with some financing and helped us continue the store. And so throughout the years, we've really developed a partnership with Jonah. The store helped Jonah furnish the new bank, and we helped you find some office furniture and things. And personally, I have an account here too. Deborah's always helped me, and I enjoy seeing her smiley face. And Cassie downtown always is so nice to me. So I just really like the partnership that we've developed through the years. And now I'm no longer part of Wyoming Home, but it's still going strong, and I'm so proud of that. And Jonah's helped us all the way through.
What I love about Jonah Bank is it is truly a community bank. We've been banking with Jonah for over 10 years, and for our personal finances, for all of our businesses, for anything we need, we can call, and almost every time we know who's on the line. If we have issues, if we're traveling, if we need anything, it's so nice to know that we're covered and they have our back. And they've helped us with everything we've done, entrepreneurial-wise and business-wise. And I just feel so lucky that we're not dealing with people that have no idea and don't care about what's going on here, and they truly know us, and it makes working with them so great and so easy for us.
Yeah, I agree. I think you don't really, at least I didn't, understand how important the relationship is with the banking institution until you get a little bit older. Because we've certainly had experiences with big name banks, larger banks, where you get on the phone with somebody that's not even in the same state, doesn't know anything about Wyoming, and certainly doesn't know anything about Casper, and quite honestly doesn't really care much about us. And as you get older and realize that the banking world and the financial world is so much more about relationships, and that's why we made a transition over to Jonah Bank, was literally because of the people. People that have the staff there, one, they know what they're doing, but two, they're just good people, and they do genuinely care about our success and what we're doing and how they can help us do our best. And that's what I think really helps them rise above, and what has meant the most to us. We walk in, and Everybody knows our name. We know their names, and it's something that it feels good, and it's also they're go to the West. It's not just something that they talk about, but it's something that they live and that our employees live, and that's the way that banking here in Casper should be. And it's something that different shows, and it's there's no reason we would ever make any changes.
Hi, my name is Corey Lothry, and people really know me as Lynn, which is my middle name, Corey Lynn Lothry. I am the co-owner of Lynn Buys Houses, and I'm here today to talk about my great experiences with Jonah Bank in Cheyenne. We have been with Jonah Bank probably 4 years, and as a small business owner, anybody else who is a small business owner knows the struggle of being successful and juggling so many balls in the air to try and keep your business going. And from my experience, we couldn't have done it without the help from Jonah. They are truly partners in our business. They are there to help us at a moment's notice. There isn't an ask that we have asked of them that they haven't found a way to help us solve our problems. And we have been in business 8 years. We've renovated about 330 houses, and I say that the reason that we continue to be successful and we continue to grow, we've started 2 new companies, a property management company and a renovation company in the last year during COVID. None of that would have been possible without the help of Jonah.
We've been with Jonah Bank for about 13 years when we started our business here at Alpine Dental. Jonah Bank helped us do that. They've always been very personal with us. You walk in the bank, everybody knows who you are. They've just been almost like family to work with.
Yeah, and we've dealt with them on every aspect from, regular personal mortgage to business loans, to everything through the COVID with PPP and all of those things, and our personal banking and going in and setting up accounts for the kids, and just everything is just amazing when we go in there. You can always call them and get an answer and talk to a real person and get real feedback. So it's just great doing business with them.
Yeah, one of the greatest things that happened was during the COVID shutdown is Michelle Dehoff was working with our loan for our property, and she actually called us up and said, hey, there's a program where you guys can get some assistance during COVID. We didn't even know about the program. We didn't ask her to look into it. She just took it upon herself to know that this program was out there, to call us, and so that we got help during COVID so that we could sustain our business.
They're always out in the community doing stuff. Like whenever we're out at a fundraiser, no matter what it is, we see some representative from Jonah Bank at that fundraiser for whatever organization that is looking for support in the community. Jonah Bank's always there helping. So that's another reason that we really like banking with them, because we know that money is coming back into the community and being used to support stuff for the community.
So this is the service that you're getting from Jonah Bank.
When we were looking to continue Grizzly Excavating and Construction, we knew we needed a bank that would partner with us, that would know us, to help us build this business into what we were hoping it to be. While we were looking around, my wife had mentioned that we needed to go talk to Jonah Bank. She knew Mark Zabak, and so we set up a meeting to discuss it. During our meeting, we felt like we were already family. It didn't take us long to connect well with Bill Thompson and Mark, and we've had that experience throughout our time with Jonah Bank.
My experience with Jonah Bank has been just amazing. The sense of family that we had when we first started working with Jonah has been incredible, and that's proven to be the day-to-day interaction with everyone in the office, to the extent that when I walk in, it's just like the old TV show Cheers. Everyone knows my name. And that's why we keep going back to Jonah Bank.
When we walk in, they know us by name. We've thoroughly enjoyed our time. We can't imagine building a business without Jonah Bank. They are a critical partner to our success, and we really believe we are able to partner with them to build a better Wyoming. Thank you to all the employees at Jonah Bank for making this so much fun to be in a business in Wyoming, a small business. Thank you for your support. We just look forward to working together in the future. Thank you.
My name is Billy Adelman. I'm an attorney here in town. My wife and I have been with Jonah Bank for more than a decade. And one of the things we love about Jonah Bank is just the personal touch and the responsiveness and the commitment to service. They're second to none. One of our favorite stories is the famous crisis. And that was several years ago. My wife Brandy and I took our 2 nieces to Italy as a graduation present to our oldest niece. And part of our trip was we had a tradition every evening. We ended the evening by picking up some gelato and walking back to our lodging. And on the last night, we were enjoying a wonderful evening and a wonderful meal before we flew home the next morning. And that's when the crisis arose. That is when we realized that we only had enough money for either the taxi ride to the airport or one last gelato run. So, realizing that we wanted to do both, we went over to the ATM machine to try out some money, or to get some money, and my debit card was declined. Brandy's debit card was declined. Our account was frozen. So we then reached out to Lori Brennan, or as our nieces refer to her as Saint Lori. On a weekend, we emailed her to see if she could do anything about it. And within minutes, she corrected the issue. We were able to withdraw the necessary funds, and we all had gelato, and the crisis was averted. That's the great story we tell in our family about the time the Jonah Bank saved the crisis.
Mick called me. I was living in Spearfish and said he wanted to build a better Wyoming, and he wanted me to help him to do that. So the Jonah Bank, the West Side Bank, was one of my first architectural commissions as a business. So I've literally been with Jonah from the beginning, and then I've done all 4 of the bank projects now. So the service you get is just amazing. I just recalling that, I can email Chris at any time, not just about banking issues, but she helps me with my business. Like if I have a problem with my bookkeeping or how to set up a credit card for my basement shift business, like she actually helped me out, showed me the different options. So I know that's way beyond what a normal banker does. Like that's just helping businesses get going. So that I find incredible, because I wouldn't expect that from a bank or any other business to help out in that way. That's just amazing. The thing I like about a community bank is they have that same goal of trying to make the community better. So that's what I'm trying to do with my architecture. It's not just about business and making money, but it's something greater than that. So it's helping to make this place better. Going back to what Nick was trying to do with the bank's original charter, and I think he picked the right people to fill all those places because it's working, and it's still working even beyond Nick. So that's what I like about it.
I'm Nick Dodson, owner of Cheyenne Motorsports and the Midas store here in Cheyenne and Nick's Fast Track. My journey started, my wife's and my journey started with Jonah Bank way back when I met Mark Zabak and Greg Jones with another bank, and they were absolutely fantastic. When we were told by other banks 20 years ago that we couldn't make it, Mark and Greg said, "Yeah, we believe in you." Since then, Mark and Greg have moved on and up, and they still treat us with the utmost respect. They're friends, they're colleagues, and that's the most important thing I've always found about Jonah. It's a true partner in my business. There's nothing more important than that. I tell people all the time, one of the expansions Brooke and I have had with our business, I picked up the phone to Greg and said, "Hey, I've got this opportunity." And he said, "Okay, what are you doing?" And I said, "Well, I need you to look at a property for me." And other than first asking me had I told my wife, because he's not allowed to talk to me unless I've already talked to Brooke. He said, "Where are we meeting?" He dropped everything he was doing. We met at the property. We put everything down. I had some numbers I had ready for him. And 24 hours later, we had the go-ahead from Jonah Bank to be able to move on a property, which saved us an awful lot of money, number one, and gave us another expansion to our business, which was at the time desperately needed. And that's really all I can say. Jonah says, build a better Wyoming. They built a better business with me because they were there as a partner every time I needed them.
We've been with Jonah Bank for several years. We just love that they're a community bank. They kind of have the same thoughts and ideas that we have in banking and community, that, Wyoming's just kind of a long-streeted big city that we live in, that everyone kind of comes around and takes care of each other, and the community thing. And one of the things I'm most thankful for during the whole COVID and everything was that we really do have a good relationship with our bank. So many people struggled with so many things of the PPP and stuff, and it was so seamless at Jonah. They do a wonderful job of taking care of everything, and they're just a phone call or an email, and I have cell phones, so it makes everything pretty easy and wonderful in banking with them.
We have numerous companies: Keel Tech, Uncorked Wine and Spirits, Keel Outdoor Living, and the community bank offers a lot of local support. You have quick reactions to your needs because they're small. They have a quick turnaround on loans. So often when you're in a big bank, even a community bank that turns regional, becomes a very stressful situation when you're trying to borrow money and it takes weeks to get it through their loan department. And a community bank allows you a lot quicker access to getting either a yes or no. And along with that, you've got the community that they support, and you're part of it, and you get to be partners with them on their endeavors throughout the community. And Jonah's been a great place to have that experience, and we've been able to help some of our younger partners develop a relationship with the younger generation of bankers at Jonah.
Can you believe it's been 15 years?
No, it's it just feels like it's just flashed just so fast to us, and it's been an unbelievable ride. I'm sure you would agree with that, Mark.
It's been very special.
Yeah.
What a way to end our careers.
It is. It really is. We appreciate having the opportunity to chat one last time as employees together. I was wondering if you had to pick one thing, one happening, one event over the course of your Jonah Bank career that was impactful to you, what would it be, Mark?
That's a tough question. I think maybe not one thing, but I think having been in banking for 48 years and working for a lot of institutions, I think what really made Jonah Bank special, the whole experience to me, has been the ownership, and in particular Mick and John, our two majority owners. They've let the bankers be the bankers, and it's never been about how much money can you guys make. It's always been about, let's do the right thing. And starting with, we adopted the culture to be built on the Code of the West, which we figured that out before we figured out how to have a bank.
Yeah, we did.
But then beyond that, we were able to go out and afford to hire good employees and pay them fair wages. We really focused on taking care of our customers over the years. That was our big focus. And also being involved in our communities. Both of them. We've got our employees involved. We've given financially. And it's all been about building a better Wyoming, which has been our mission. And that doesn't happen very often. I've worked for banks that talk, but they don't talk the talk. So anyway, I'd have to say just the confidence that our owners and founders had in letting the bankers run the bank and not try to change things. And the fact we didn't get pressured to do things just to make money.
You know, I would agree with all of that. I think one of the things that that I would say in addition to that is that the backgrounds that you and I came from and our operating philosophies really meshed well with each other. And what was so serendipitous was, to me, was that it also met with what Mick and John wanted to do, and that you know, we wanted to focus on commercial relationships. We wanted to be involved in mortgage lending. We didn't want to be all things to all people. I think that's a trap that you can get into that we have been pretty good about not getting into. And probably the most important thing to me was just, again, to have a very high impact relationship driven business with our customers. It wasn't about being, you know, an internet bank. It was we talked a lot about that, and that there was going to be that piece that was going to that we were going to have to contend with, because we kind of felt like we were exactly the opposite of that. That what we focused on was being a part of our customers' lives, and it's worked really, really well. And it's, again, it was just really special that's what Mick and John wanted.
Yeah.
So
that's really a good point. You know, I think it boils back down to, you and I have always believed in community banking.
Yep.
And we were able to take what we learned over the years and deploy it, I guess, the relationship building, taking care of your employees, and they take care of the customers. So, you know, it sounds like simple things, but it really did work.
No.
And not many people get the opportunity to start something like this from scratch. And 15 years later, it's worked and still working.
I remember back when we first started, and it was before we were chartered, but sitting in the Teton building down in Cheyenne, scrawling out on Big Chief tablets what this bank might look like. And our table,
I remember that.
our table was a refrigerator box, a cardboard refrigerator box that we worked off of. So very humble, modest beginnings.
Yeah, I remember that. That seems like only yesterday too that we were doing that.
Very true. And then bringing on the first set of people that came to work with us, and as far as I know, no one came over asking for a bump in their pay. Everybody came across understanding that this was a bank that we were going to be just pulling right out of the dirt, and that we had the right set of people that came to us, and it's just blossomed from there. It's just been an incredible thing about how I remember Mickey saying early on to always hire talent in front of the need to hire talent. If you've got the right people, get them on the ship. And we were able to do that, and that's so rare. I mean, that was the first time in my career, in my banking career, that I was able to be involved with something like that.
Yeah, that was special. You know, I do want to mention Mickey too, because thankfully he had the foresight and recognized the need back in 2005 that there was a need for a community bank. And when he recognized it, he went out, and we were fortunate to be two people he asked to be part of. But without Mick McMurray's recognition and vision, I don't know that Jonah Bank would have ever happened. Every time I think about it, I still remember every time we had events at the bank, Mickey just loved to have social events. When we turned 1 year old, we had a birthday party. When we turned 2 years old, we had another birthday party. And he'd always jump up and down and say, if I'd known banking was so much fun, I would have did this a long time ago.
That's right. I love this banking business.
Yeah.
That's how he used to put it. But yeah, and I remember he would, it seems like every employee that we brought in the early days got to go for a ride in one of those hotshot cars that he owned. That was fun too.
Yeah, another special thing is I remember he took us out to Jonah Field before we actually started the bank.
And our spouses.
And our spouses. Karen and Dory got to go, and it was really special to, because that really is where the money came from, was out of Jonah Field to help start Jonah Bank.
It was the genesis of the bank.
Yeah,
So
that was special.
It was very fun.
Well, I hope it continues to operate like it has. We've spent, as you know, a lot of time on planning our succession. In fact, we probably started while Mick was still alive.
Yes.
We did, and we've got a great team in place with Kim, Bill, and Mike, and just a great group of Jonah bankers. And I guess if there's one thing I hope continues is the culture that's been built over the last 15 years based on the Code of the West.
You know, it's hard. It's almost impossible to emphasize how much we stress that. It's just critical for our bank to be the kind of bank that Mick had in mind when we started, and I would totally agree that our biggest challenge will be to again not chase down the wrong bunny holes and to stay consistent, and because I think, without bragging, I think we're pretty good at that, and I hope that and expect that we will always be true to that culture. I hope, and it is hard to do for people that we're bringing in that are new to the bank, but I hope that everybody remembers Mickey, that Jonah Bank would not have been Jonah Bank, would not have been a bank, and we have to always remember the memory and the philosophy that Mickey brought to this bank. There's so many people to thank for this incredible journey that you and I have spent together, Mark, and I don't really know where to start and where to end because the list is really long, but I'll just maybe touch on a couple of them. First of all, my wife Dory and my family, they have stuck by my side through thick and thin, and it's just been an honor to have my family by my side. Also, just want to thank again Mickey up there and John for having the vision to start this incredible journey that will continue off into the future, and our employees, the ones that we started with and the ones, the 80 employees that we have now. It's just been, again, these are professional, incredible people, and I wouldn't trade our staff for anyone that I've ever worked with before or that I know of that exists now. You people are wonderful, and thank you for all you've done.
And I'd like to thank my wife Karen for agreeing to move back to Casper after we'd left there 20 years before, and my whole family for supporting. It was a big move. It was a big move to leave Cheyenne after 20 years and have this opportunity, but it was kind of scary, and Karen stuck with me, was very supportive, and thank you, honey. I really appreciate it. I'd like to thank everybody at the events. All of you played some sort of role in the success of Jonah Bank over the last 15 years, and just want to thank you for whatever role you played. And I would definitely like to thank the Jonah bankers. I don't think there's a better group of bankers anywhere, and I'm just proud to have had a chance to work with all of you guys, and I look forward to continuing to work with you, just not on a daily basis.
And how about our customers? I mean, just best customers in the world. We have great relationships with them, and thank you. Obviously, we wouldn't be very far down the pipe if we didn't have the incredible customers that we have.
Yeah. And I know there's a lot of people we're forgetting out there, but if we forgot you, we still appreciate you and we thank you. So, but it's just been an incredible, special 15 years for both of us, and we look forward. We're not leaving the bank. We just won't be here day to day anymore.
Very good. Thanks, my friend.
Pretty special.